you're saying. To you who are young, I ask you to do your part to defend your faith. We should always be kind and generous to those with whom we come in contact with, both face-to-face or online interactions, but please be bold in standing up for your belief. When you speak candidly with love, you can accomplish a lot of good in the world. So my sister sent that to me because my sister's so good about standing up and just, she always has. Like, we're from Ohio, and her teacher used to mock Mormons, and she would stand up and like bear her testimony. Like, she's just one of those amazing people. And I'm kind of like social anxiety person. So I struggle with it. And so this class is making me want to be more, but and it's teaching me how to do that in a way that, like Elder Holland said, the views that we have aren't political or social, they're eternal. And so if we can teach some eternal principles in that, I usually only say things on Facebook if I feel prompted and it's really scary for me and my heart rushes and my face gets red even though I'm behind a computer.
You worry about it.
But yeah, but I try to do that. I try to put some context of like the plan of happiness in it to help that. But I've never like posted, you know, controversial things on my personal page. But I tried to respond like Brother Rarick said in that webcast. Like he said, sometimes it's not about winning the discussion, it's about helping people have a choice.
Yeah.
And there's so many people on the fence that I worry about that that's why I want to say some things sometimes, is for the fence people.
Yeah. And let me bring up a scripture that I just thought of when you read that. You know, when Abinadi was preaching to the people, he thought no one was listening and no one cared. But there was one that did, Alma, that made all the difference. But Alma, at that point, he didn't stand up and say, yay, he's right. He kind of had to process it and think about it, you know. And I think maybe that's the reason we should speak up, because we never know who an Alma is going to be.
Yeah. No, I think that's an awesome way to.
Where did you find that? Was that from Elder Cook, you said?
Yeah, his Facebook profile on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I'm writing that one down.
Repost.
Yeah.
Are you ready for me to do a summary?
Yes, go ahead and do our summary. Thank you.
Okay. We talked about the threats that from Elder Holland's talk, which was the threat of leaving your religion at the door, not standing up for, you know, what you believe. We talked about abuse and neglect, pornography and complacency. We talked about being judgmental, and we talked about not dumbing down our doctrine and how it kind of blurs the lines, or it can kind of blur the lines. And when we teach our children, we need to be very, you know, guys jump in if I'm wrong in any of this, okay? It blurs the lines, that we need to teach doctrine that is very clear and concise, and that we don't compromise on the commandments. Well, we talked about our paper about some of the threats that we're talking about, and let's see, parenting, standing up for what we believe, and taking things into our heart so we can have a stronger testimony. We talked about addiction, the effect of media on marriage and phone usage. We talked about how social media can be positive to clarify church doctrine and advocate for the family. One of us was going to do their paper on cohabitation and that it has eternal consequences. And somebody said, which I thought was great, that we can't serve two masters. And on the attributes and characteristics, we talked about how social media can be positive, that we need to have courage, compassion, and love, and that we don't need to compromise on our beliefs to love someone. And then we talked about, then the next thing we talked about was the video and what would you do? And someone said they would, you know, just love them. We talked about the cousin who felt the love, even though they knew that you didn't agree with their lifestyle. We talked about how most of us would probably wait until the dad left the room to speak up instead of interfere in the conversation. And Morgan talked about how she tries to advocate subtly by putting pictures of her family and her marriage online. And then we talked about Elder Cook's profile article about, speak up even if you don't think someone is listening. But the quote that I really put down here large was that our views are not political or social. They are things of they are eternal. Anything else you want to add?
I think that was really good. You hit on all of the main points for sure. Anybody else? No? Okay.
Who wants to send the link next week?
I can.
Lisa, you are?
Next week's meeting. I'll have to email the teacher about it.
Okay.
What was that?
I won't be at next week's meeting.
Okay.
So
I might not. I might have a funeral to go to. Our friend might pass away. Well, anytime now, and so I'm thinking the funeral will be towards the end of the week.
I'm sorry to hear
Don't
that.
show up. That's why.
Okay. Will you all post your emails on this week's discussion board so I can get a copy of it?
Yes.
Maybe we should
everybody make sure and write them
Yes.
down.
our emails and our numbers.
And yeah, and phone numbers.
Phone numbers would be nice
Okay.
too.
Even you, Morgan, even if you're not going to be there.
Just for future.
Yes, please.
yeah, I can do that. That's no problem.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So next Thursday, sorry. Thursday at 3:15. Tammy, sorry about your friend. Hard to hear.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. That's hard.
Okay. I will post the link for this for her. And then, Laura, if you want to, I guess your part's done. We don't need to post it anywhere. So
Okay.
that's good.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Hey,
you.
have a great week, ladies.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.